So New Japan Pro Wrestling's Strong Style evolved. Only their second show in the United States when the Walter Pyramid in Long Beach, California. Fantastic show. And what was really class about this show is that it's not like a regular house show like that New Japan did. It's actually, it follows on a lot of what some of their storylines and instigates a lot of what's going to be happening to Kura Genesis this weekend.
Exactly. Yeah.
So played very well in that case with all the matches. So
for sure. I think that's great for the fans, especially that went to see it as well. It's not just a run-of-the-mill house show that is like trying to show off that, yeah, we're New Japan, this is what we look like.
Yeah. They're doing that, but they're also playing.
It's doing that, but they're playing into storylines as well.
Yeah.
It's not, say, for example, like a WWE house show in Dublin. You know, WWE Live in Dublin, it has no real effect on the storylines. It's just matches that you'll probably see all the time. So that's a really big plus that they're actually putting a lot into their American tours as well, and especially with the.
Well, it goes to show you how it seems like they're definitely trying to bring out as much as they can, or try to bring out more to the US fan base, which is great. Which by and large presents more to everywhere else beyond, like more Western like fan base, if you like, in their case. So it's awesome. So we'll get into the matches anyway. Roppongi 3K and Rocky Romero took on Soul Cal Uncensored, the team of Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky. Now, I think, I'm not sure if you've seen this, but when I think Kazarian might have hurt his knee during a spot in this match.
Yeah, he did. It looked like he was struggling for a lot of the match. Fair play to him, he kept going throughout the whole time, but he definitely did something to his knee. He definitely hurt.
I think he was trying to go for a springboard kick, and his knee on it awkwardly or something like that.
I think it gave out. All right. I think it was actually more down to it was more down to, I think someone was meant to do like a chop block on the knee, a chop block I should say on the knee, but they actually made too good of a connection with it and actually did sort of take his knee out a little bit. Oh really?
Oh, that's the worst type of ones you can get then. If it's like a move like that where it's supposed to take out the knee and it actually does, or it's not, it's supposed to but it's not supposed to, but it did.
Yeah, exactly. The move was exactly right, but it just did it was too right.
I love the breakdown of the matches anyway, and when 3K was sent to the floor, Sky dived in them. A really good Meltzer, the best Meltzer ever gets it to. That's what they call their version of the Meltzer driver, I think, on the outside. It ended when Yo hit a planta on the floor. Yo hit Germans on Sky, then double team Sky to get a cover for two, but then the backstabber and dropkick follows, and the 3K finished Scorpio Sky for the match. So it was a really good opener. One thing I want to say about this, and it goes towards a lot of the rest of the matches here, I thought the camera work missed a lot of spots. I found. Yeah, it was definitely watching it live, but
there was a bit of criticism, all right. Not just for the camera work, but also for the commentary team. I was kind of surprised that. Well, I know why Jim Ross and Josh Barnett were doing it, because it was in America and Access TV had the rights.
That's the thing, yeah.
But I kind of would have preferred Don Callis to Kevin Kelly.
Well, they're arguably the best commentary team in the world right now. Like, you know, especially when you consider the roles that they do. Here's Kevin Kelly, who's a brilliant play-by-play man. Here's Don Callis, who plays such a perfect heel. Says actually says, oh, I'm going in there tomorrow weekend. He'll make it before his match because they go way back. I love that sort of stuff. So you're right. And they're in attendance, and you think, well, why would you? Even though Jim Ross and Josh Barnett are probably contractually obliged, if that's to do Access TV, they could have easily done it for that show as well. But you know, and the Chris is
the fact that the whole time Jim Ross was pronouncing Marty Scurll's name wrong. Yeah, Marty Scurll. What was it? Marty Scurll. That's what I think you were saying. You get the whole time.
You get the impression, though, and I mean this with the greatest respect to JR, because he's obviously one of the best commentators of all time. Unless it's WWE he works for, I
feel like he doesn't put as much preparation in as he used to.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he deserves to do that. I don't think anyone deserves to do that.
But while he was with WWE during his heyday, he was the head of talent relations as well. So he had this relationship and rapport with the wrestlers anyway. Yeah. So he knew how to commentate about them. You know what I mean?
I wonder though if he ever commented an indie match and if he'd be any good to get feedback from. Because I notice a lot of wrestlers go to commentators for that. Yeah. So, imagine a lot of wrestlers like an OTT would go to Ango or Don or even now, what's his name again?
Tony Riley. I think
Exactly.
it was, yeah.
They go to them for feedback. Like, where I'm not sure. I'm not saying JR would be inapproachable, but I'm saying he'd be way more approachable in WWE.
Yeah. Did you hear the mess up
What?
by JR and Josh Barnett after the Roppongi and Roppongi 3K and the
I didn't hear it in full,
what's
but I'm not sure I did. But what exactly did they
after
say?
the match? So you noticed after the end of every match, they went to an ad break and they came back from the ad break and the guys were still in the ring.
Yeah. I'm scared of the ring.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he says, "Oh, it was good, but they got to get the F out of the ring." You know, I think it was Josh Barnett saying that. He's like, "Yeah, I agree with you, JR, but you need to get the F out of the ring."
Silly. Moving on, David Finlay and Juice Robinson took on Hiroki Goto and Gato. Can I ask you, do you know why Juice Robinson is not very well received in the United States? He seems to get booed.
I'm not too sure. Put him in for his NXT run.
Is that why?
I don't know. I wasn't really into.
I just know
watching NXT when Juice was in it.
It's the opposite when he's in Japan. He's beloved over there, but like in Juice Robinson, he seems to have that Roman, the sense of Roman from him. You know what I mean? I'm
not too sure why. I can't put my finger on it because I don't see why he would be criticising anyway.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Well, as opposed to Hiroki Goto, who got a huge reception.
Yeah.
So, but no, it was a very good match. Like when Gato and Juice Robinson were eye jabbing each other. In the end, though, it was Gato who. It was Juice Robinson who dropped Gato with a left, followed by a planta on Gato, and then Finlay used the stunner for the win in that match. Good match. Again, it was the I felt the shooting of the match was could have been way better, obviously. Like, you know, which like in all seriousness, like that's an issue which they really shouldn't have. Like, would that be the company's fault, or is that the TV network's fault? That's the thing.
I think I think it could be the TV's director's fault. It's his decision.
Certainly if you compare the camera work they do in Japan, which is as good as anywhere.
Yeah, I think Access had their own team there.
Maybe. Yeah, that's a problem in itself. You could argue as well. So,
well, look, if you look at it in this way, it's something to learn from.
Indeed. Moving on, Toru Yano and Chucky T took on the Killer Elite Squad. How over was Toru Yano in this match?
So over.
I'd love him to come. Of all the wrestlers in the world, he's definitely a wish list for OTT down the line. Like, you know, obviously not anytime soon, but like down the line. Like,
I'd love to see him try and take off every single turnbuckle cover. But the one, like, I know I gave JR and Josh Barnett some criticism, but the props I have to give for him was after Yano came out. And he just gives it out and says, "Does nobody drink water anymore? Everybody's spitting it out," because Lance Archer did it beforehand where he got into the crowd and he was spitting the water out at everybody, which, by the way, brilliant.
This match is sponsored by Volvic.
It should have been like Deep River Rock. It's the water you wear. Literally, you're wearing it right now because you spit it out with
you. It's water you spit.
And then, of course, Toru Yano spit his water out straight away as well. That was a nice start, obviously.
But especially the chemistry, like, or the matchup between Archer and Yano as well, like the water spitters, if you like, where like where Archer wasn't setting his strikes and they're grabbing each other's hair, like it's stuff like that. That's proper comedy wrestling, like, and that's what Toru Yano was. He's so good at that, and it's very rare you find it in Japan, certainly in New Japan. I don't know what the indies are like over there, but like I imagine
it's definitely a surprising tag team though that we saw there. Chucky T and Toru Yano.
They're both from Chaos, so like it's no, that's as good as any tag team you'd have, or at least a comedy tag team.
It's just for me, I found it very surprising. I didn't think those two would have been together.
And then it was Chucky who missed the moonsault. Archer hit the pounce. The chokeslam gets 2, but as Chucky got a crucifix for 2. The Killer Bomb counters. Chucky ran wild, but got cut off. Killer Bomb finished him off. Awesome match, and I kept the run for Killer Elite Squad. Like, you know,
so calling out Evil and Sonata as well.
Yes. So it wouldn't surprise me if they not going to be they're not going to be challenging at Secure Genesis because Evil's still injured. But
well, no, because on the road to Secure Genesis, we just said in the news report that's where he's going to be. Yeah, but he's going to be back.
But the tag title match wasn't announced. That's why.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean.
Still could be after the Road to show. We could see something.
Every chance.
Yeah.
The Bullet Club Civil War continued with this match. In this next match, Cody Rhodes and Marty Scurll took on the Gorillas of Destiny. You know, Cody, we talked about Toru Yano being as over as hell. Like, Cody was under as hell, if I can use that.
Yeah.
Like, no, he got the worst reaction everywhere. Like, so, and that he's probably one of the top heels in wrestling right now when you think about it, because you just love to hate him. He's breaking up the Bullet Club.
Exactly.
And that's for me was what a perfect heel is. A perfect heel is one you want to hate so much. And when you look what he did with Omega and all the stuff he does on the Being the Elite stuff, you just
exactly. He's playing it so well at the moment.
Yeah.
And like this is probably the sort of freedom that he creative freedom that he's probably begging for in WWE, but they would never give it to him.
Yeah.
But look what happens when you just let Cody take the ball and run with it.
Yeah, exactly.
This is just fantastic stuff from him.
He was claiming he didn't want this match to happen, all saying that everyone's friends, and praised Tama Tonga in particular for being a Bullet Club OG. Speaking of which, we'll get to that on Raw later on. And complimenting the Guerrillas of Destiny for being 3-time tag champions and how they made the Bullet Club cool and made superstars, and until superstars like him made it popular. Like, as much as he put Tama Tonga and the Guerrillas of Destiny over, he had to put himself over as well. But then Lowe just grabbed the mic and said Cody will not deny the fans the match, and they are not on Team Cody. Match went on from there. And it was a good match. But what I loved about this match in particular was Marty's reluctance at one stage. It was almost polar opposites of what we seen from this match and what we saw later at the match between Ospreay.
It was brilliant in the sense that obviously Cody put out his hand. He said no. They threw him outside the ring, and then Marty is jumping around with God saying yeah Cody Cody that's what you get, that's what you get. Then he gets thrown out of the ring, so hops on Cody like he's a baby. Like, I'm sorry I don't know what got over me.
The match ended when Cody got back in. Tonga hits the drop kick, but then Cody runs them together. It hits the crossroads on Lower, and that's that for the win. But again, I love the heat that Cody's getting at the moment. Like, it's it shows like everyone, like he's really up there with the best heels at the moment. So
sure.
So it's definitely an interesting story going forward. Now, in a 8-man tag team match, Taguchi, Tanahashi, Dragon Lee, and Kushida took on Naito, Bushi, Sanada, and Takahashi from LIJ. It's very rare we see Naito in a full suit with cape. That means he's really serious about this.
Yeah, giving the American fans a little taste of full suited Naito.
That's a really serious Naito though. That's Wrestle Kingdom type Naito, where he's in a suit with a cape. Never mind just a suit. A suit with a cape. So it was definitely, it was an interesting match. What I liked about this, or one highlight of this match I have to point out, was the continuing rivalry between Dragon Lee and Hiromu Takahashi, where they literally had a chop off of all chop offs. That was something else, wasn't
it? I actually skipped this match.
Why?
Because I was in a rush to watch it, and I was meant to watch it all day on Wednesday.
You missed so many.
But then obviously I scheduled to talk to Darren, and then I had to go out and play some five-side, and time just got away from me, Dave. Okay,
you missed a match with a lot of good spots. Like, you had a situation where I think all the guys from the team Taguchi had submissions on. So it was the Paradise Lock. I think at one stage, Taguchi had the ankle lock on Naito. Kushida had the hoverboard lock on Bushi. Tanahashi had the cloverleaf on Sanada, and Lee and Takahashi sprawled as he always do in the back. So it's very rare to see spots like that. In the end, though, it was Lee gets suplexed into the buckles by Takahashi. Naito then hits a Destiny on Taguchi, and that's that. It was a fun match. Like, it's one of those 8-man tags where everyone gets their bit, everyone shows their bit, and it makes sense that LIJ win to the most part. Like, where it looks like now Bushi, Takahashi, and Naito could be heading now to title shots. Like, I imagine, like, whoever will win between Naito and whoever wins between Ospreay and Skrull, I should say, either Takahashi or Bushi will be in the mix for whoever's next, I imagine.
Yeah, or maybe both.
Maybe both. We'll have to see what happens.
You saw the success of the last Fatal 4-Way. Why not have another?
Yeah, it went so well. Yeah, but that's it. It'll be interesting to see how Ospreay gets on against Skrull first. Speaking of which, Will Ospreay took on Jushin Liger. Now, originally it was supposed to be Rey Mysterio against Jushin Liger, but unfortunately due to Rey Mysterio's bicep injury, he couldn't take part. He was out before the match started, explaining what happened, why he's injured and why he couldn't compete, and said he promises he'll be back in New Japan to fight, and took a seat at ringside. Now, the match itself, like, when you consider all things, like, it's hard to believe that Jushin Liger, he's 53 years old. compared to Will Ospreay's 24, I think, or 25. I'm not sure, but it's scary. Like the age difference, like and they were talking about it in commentary. I think Jushin Liger was 8 years, was an 8-year veteran at the same year Ospreay was born.
Yeah,
madness,
that's unbelievable.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
So
25 years ago.
So arguably the greatest light junior heavyweight of all time against probably the best junior heavyweight at the moment.
Yeah,
like against each other. But some really good spots. Like what I liked about this match, it seemed like a competitive match. It didn't seem like Ospreay was dominating the whole time. There was actually spots where it looked like Ospreay was in trouble, like when Liger hit the brainbuster on the floor, for example. Like or the super brainbuster for 2, actually, where like it looked like he was almost frustrated that he was losing and stuff like that. So one of the spots I have to say, like when Ospreay teased the 619 in front of Ray.
Ah, yes.
The crowds mumbled so much, and like, so you couldn't help but think, "Oh, was this going to happen? Could this happen?"
I wish it did.
Imagine if it did. In the end, though, it was Ospreay who hit the running Chattel for a good near fall, but then Liger fired up. Ospreay countered the next one into a power bomb. Then Ospreay laid in some kicks, hit the Os Cutter, and put Liger away for that. Apparently, Ospreay, I don't know if you know this, is 4-0 against Liger.
Really?
He's never lost a match against him.
Oh, didn't know that.
There you go. Now, it was after the match
I
where
guess most of the matches they've had has been in the Best of Super Junior, so
they've definitely faced last year's Super Juniors, as far as I'm aware. I'm not 100% certain, but to my knowledge anyway. And after the matches where it got intriguing, Ospreay then praised Liger, saying like how he's done everything for everything he's done, but then he went on to say like he wants to make his own legacy and needs to beat legends. And he wants to take the title to a new level, and that's where he challenged Mysterio to a match in the future. Yep. And he says when Ray's better, he needs to fight him. Out comes Marty Scurll, umbrella and all, laying out Ospreay. Then Ray tried to make the save, but Marty ripped the mask off and put it on himself. Now, we're talking about polar opposites from the Good as a Destiny match. Here he is with the mask, which for me, I think is as disrespectful as it gets to do that to a luchador.
Exactly.
Especially Rey Mysterio, who's the most famous luchador of all time.
At least this was planned to happen, apart from obviously the famous Alberto Del Rio Kalisto one where he was meant to try and take it off, but he ended up taking the whole thing off.
Oh no.
But yeah, it was interesting. I love the way the young lions that were there at ringside had to jump in straight away with a towel on Ray's face.
They always do.
They're always there, impeccable timing.
If you watched the Super Juniors, that happens a lot between Tiger Mask, Dragon Lee, and El Desperado, because they all had incidents where their masks were taken off. They jump in straight away, like t-shirts taken off on their face. Yeah. So, a quick fact. So it sets up a lot of possible matches. Obviously, we know it's going to be Marty and Ospreay at Secure Genesis, but it's a
good thing to get some heat on Marty as well.
Yeah, could have
obviously because they obviously want him to be the heel in this feud with Ospreay, and he is getting over with his being the elite sort of stuff and everything like that. So this is a great way for him to get some heat going into the match with Ospreay.
Absolutely. Moving on, Kazuchika Okada and Tomohiro Ishii took on Minoru Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. Like the way it describes Suzuki and Sabre Jr., it's like here's Suzuki who's as a bully as it is, but it's like he's groomed a son in Sabre Jr.
It is kind of like that, isn't
it? It's like Nelson and Nelson's son, basically.
Yeah.
Nelson and son against Okada and Ishii.
Yeah, you're so right about that. That's actually a brilliant call. It's his son. Aww, Suzuki has a son.
Here's the strange thing now that's come to my head after
Zack Sabre Suzuki.
No, wait. You know how Suzuki laughs off chops?
Yeah.
Instead of saying ha ha ha, he just goes ha ha.
Why?
It's instead of a ha 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 ha.
But why?
Alright
then. Moving on.
I thought you understood. But anyway,
no, I don't understand.
But even when they were trying, there was even cases where they were working double submissions as well. When Okada argued with the ref, here's Ishii, who was trapped with, like, I think at one stage a double Fujiwara armbar. Can you imagine that? One had an SCF, one had a crossface, or one had an ankle lock and one had a crossface. Like,
Ishii's a big boy. He look after himself. He's fine.
Yeah, but it was mad match. Like, again, this is a really good match. Like, a lot of counters and stuff like that. Like, I love Zack Sabre Jr.'s. Like, I love how he's becoming way more aggressive now with his submissions. Like, he's like it's almost like the Neville effect. So when we saw Neville turn to a heel and how much of a difference it's put in his game, it's sort of the same with Sabre Jr.
the sort of dose of reality that he's putting into wrestling as well. Have you heard some of his his press conferences over the time in the New Japan Cup?
Yeah,
they were really good. Like the one that he did with I think Ibushi, because he faced Ibushi in the semi-finals or something, did he, or something?
He faced, who did he face in the semi-finals?
Might have been Ibushi.
I think it was.
Yeah. He was saying like, I'm fighting Ibushi. If you try any of that crazy, I'm substituting stuff, like moonsaulting off the top of the balcony.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna move. I'm not going to be like these other wrestlers that just stand there and wait to catch you.
Yeah.
I'm just going to move and then let you fall on the ground and then pin you there. 1, 2, 3.
The standoffs between Ishii and Suzuki in particular, they literally try to knock each other's head off.
Yeah,
scary stuff as well. In the end, though, it was Suzuki who choked out Okada while Zack locked in the orienting with Nepal Death submission as the ref waved it off for the win. So it was again a great match, and there's so again I like the spots from it as well. Like I love the idea of Ishii and Suzuki now. I'd love to see that match for the IC title sometime.
Yeah,
that has to happen soon. Moving on now, Jay White took on Hangman Page for the IWGP US title. This was an excellent match.
That I don't know if it was planned or not, but that was the German, wasn't it, that he did on the apron?
Yeah,
Hangman missed the apron. I went straight to the floor.
No, he hit his shoulder off the canvas.
No, he actually missed it completely.
Yeah, it looked like he hit his shoulder from what I've seen.
Missed it completely.
I remember the one you're talking about though, where the German on the buckles for 2, like
he flipped. Yeah,
literally killed him. Almost killed him with that.
I don't know if that was planned or not.
No, it was when Jay White hit an apron flatliner, but then Caleb Hayward with an apron German. Like it looked like it landed on the shoulder. Like it didn't look like, from what I seen, he missed most of it.
Yeah,
and it probably was supposed to hit the back, but he landed enough of his shoulder just to get the impact away to where he wasn't completely flipped and hit himself hard in the apron. So or from the floor. So I think he got enough from the shoulder, for at least from what I'm seeing anyway. So that's a spot right there, like for that match. So. In a class match, like there was a bit of a tribute from Eddie Guerrero at one stage with the rolling suplexes at some stage as well. We don't really. The thing is with Hangman Page, like I think he's very underrated as a wrestler when you think about it. Like a lot of people only associate him lately, I feel, from his association with the Bullet Club. But when you actually see him in the ring and how classy he is, like some of the stuff he can do.
He is a fantastic wrestler. I think. The Bullet Club and the Being the Elite is helping shine a light on how good he actually is.
I think he's severely underrated still. Yeah. Like even still, like I think he's getting better now. And this match is a coming out match for him in that sense, where like they both worked very hard. I felt there was a few slightly awkward moments in the middle. I think remember that one time where I think Hangman Page tried to jump up and it looked like, okay, what are you doing? You're supposed to get up, and I think Jay White delayed it like twice or three times or something like that.
Yeah.
So. But then you have like who else can do a shooting star headbutt off the apron?
Well, there was one, but we don't talk about him anymore.
Oh, shooting star.
Or shooting star. Sorry, yeah. I think Hangman needs some sort of singles title now.
Well, this was it. Like this is definitely putting them in the right road.
I think even like the TV title in Ring of Honor would have been perfect for him or something like that.
Is he? Is him and the Young Bucks still 6-man tag champs in Ring of Honor?
No, so Calvin Spencer there now.
Yes. So he's it's only a matter of time. He's definitely I wouldn't expect them to win this match straight away, but it's definitely an indication that down the line he could easily be holding his title down for sure. But in the end, it was the Blade Runner counter as Page spits in his face, followed by a super kick and roll on the elbow, and then. Right counters the rite of passage and hits the Blade Runner.
Great counter.
Yeah, fantastic. Awesome match. Like fair play to Page. Like he was the MVP in this match in the sense of the bumps he took, like that German suplex in particular. But they worked hard in that match, and I feel though like do you feel for a semi-main event by New Japan standard it was a good enough match though? By a co-main event? Am I being too critical?
I see why it needed to be, because it was the US title. But no, I don't know. I still think there's a little more I want to see from Jay White. I don't know what it is. For being champion, I still want to see a lot more. It was a very slow-paced match, I thought it was, for a lot of it. There was some fantastic moves and stuff.
Of course.
Don't get me wrong. But I just thought the match itself, for like you said, a co-main event, Or sub-main event, sorry, semi-main event.
So you think it could be better for now, or at least maybe after his next defense, that he works maybe with someone more experienced, like similar to a Tanahashi?
I think so.
Because we weren't sure about the Tanahashi match as well. So that's why it's like, well, where's the balance?
So we'll have to see a couple of more matches, but it might just be the common factor is Jay White.
Maybe.
But which is weird because...
I'm not saying he's a bad wrestler.
No, not at all, because when he was over here in Dublin, he was fantastic.
Oh, he's brilliant.
And in his his Ring of Honor matches, he was great as well. I don't know what. Has he changed his style since he became Switchblade?
Well, maybe he's trying to fit to his gimmick, like that's the thing, so... Anyway, after the match then, David Finlay attacked him and said that he ain't done yet on April 24th, challenged him for the US Championship. And that's why he figured, and that's what made sense of how Finlay got the win earlier on, and when it was him and Hiroki Goto and Skato.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because that could be an interesting match there straight away. So that could be a coming out match as well, because here he is wrestling someone who isn't as established, but someone who knows him at the back of his hand, as we talked about earlier on. So that easily could make a difference as well.
Yeah, this could be a very important match when it comes down to whether or not he'll have a long title reign.
Indeed.
So if this match doesn't click for someone that you know so well, they might have to make a change.
We'll see what happens. Now, the main event, the Golden Lovers versus the Young Bucks. I still can't believe you couldn't see this match, because this was...
I didn't have enough hours in the day.
This is one of the best matches this year. This is easily a match to your Kansas.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying I'm not going to watch it. I'm just going to. I'm just going to watch it, obviously.
It's a beautiful match for so many reasons. One, they sell everything. The whole injury with Matt at the moment with his back, he is on that. Like, he sold that beautifully. Like, it was ingenious how he sold it. Everything came together in terms of the spots, even like the communication between them at the start and everything. It was just brilliant. Like, here's Matt, who straight away wanted to get who wanted Omega straight away, and then tagged out like straight away. Like, it was too good. Like, you know, where I think at one stage where like there were so many really great spots, like, you know, involving tables and everything. Particular ones is when I think they had the double triangle moonsault. Obviously, there was the when Okada cut off Nick, hit the Rana, and then Nick hits a backstabber on a Bushi straight away. Like, it's just stuff like that. And then there's stuff involving the tables where who German tabled who I think it was Omega who grabbed Matt and teased a one-wing angel through a table. Yeah. But Bushi then killed him with an elevated German suplex. Now, can you imagine that on his bad back? Man, there's so many scary spots here as well. Where else was there? There was when Matt hit the V trigger and hit the last ride for 2. How he kicked out of that is beyond me. Like, because that was some sick move. That was. There was just so many good spots. Like there's so many to mention. Like, that's a strange thing. Assisted 450s connected for 2. Omega was back in, looked for Woman Angel, but at super kicks, and Ibushi made the save. 30 minutes at that point. Yeah. Like, it was just madness. There was Ibushi cut off Nick and powerbombed him through the table at ringside out of nowhere. When the Bucks were looking for the Meltzer driver, he just noticed. I think Okada was hurt on the table. Like, I'll just go for him instead. And then straight away powerbomb, gone like that. In the end, though, it was when Matt had no one to tag, and Okada. It ended beautifully as well, because Okada hesitates to go after Nick, but Matt with a desperation super kick and cut him off. And then Okada finished off things with a running V trigger, and Okada hesitated on the One Wing Angel, but then Nick encouraged him to hit it, and then Nick made the save. It's just stuff like that, where they said so much, no, you have to hurt me, you have to do this, like, you know. Yeah. In the end, it was the V trigger, and Snapdragon followed. Okada dropped the knee pad, and the Golden Lovers hit the Golden Trigger to finally pick up the win. But it was just a beautifully told match. Like, Matt in particular has a chip on his shoulder against Okada. Like, I imagine, or at least how it's sold in the story.
Yeah, you mean Omega?
Yeah, Omega. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, all this reluctance for Okada to fight Nick, and Matt refusing Okada's help, like when checking on him. Even little hints as well. Well, like we saw him being deleted at the weightlifting belts as well.
They did. That was only one of them did.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, they both wore them.
Matt did it. Matt was the only one that kept wearing it. Nick took
yeah.
it off.
There you go. Yeah. Like, even stuff like that, small details like that. Man, it was such a good match. But in the end, though, it was. But the expectations for this match were high, and then not only delivered, it overcame. In my opinion, it's a must see.
Yeah, I will sit down and watch it. Don't worry, I will.
Post match, then, Cody arrives and yelled at Matt, and then shoved down Nick. Ibushi and Omega then returned and ran off, but then Omega offered to shake hands. Nick was okay and they hugged, but Matt bailed. So it certainly shows who's on whose side now, isn't it? So are going forward. And then Omega made a promo saying that it's a sad world when friends have to fight, and in war there's casualties, and he wishes he could be happy, but he's sure that the Golden Lovers are back, and that's that. Like before promoting his match with Cody, and then the July 7th events coming up. So it's definitely interesting going ahead now. So and now we have Secure Genesis this week. Goes to show you there's so much wrestling coming up, isn't there?
So much.
Well, there's WrestleMania weekends next weekend. So not even that WrestleMania weekend. That's the go home next week. And we have how many shows to review next week? 4.
4, yeah.
Yeah. Genesis and 3 Irish shows. I thought last week's show was long.
Yeah. We're going to need a lot. And we have to do our WrestleMania predictions.
So you think you're tired now? Wait until that.